Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Casey Redbeard. This is Redbeard Rants, and today I'm going to be breaking down a Hinge conversation that goes from the opener, then escalates to a conversation, which escalates to getting an Instagram, which escalates into getting a phone number, and then eventually escalates in getting to a date with a really hot girl. I'll post some photos of the girl. Obviously, I have to hide her identity by blurring out, key things, but let's begin without any further ado. It starts off with this right here. One of your photos is particularly my favorite. Guess which one? So I will talk about this more in future videos, but as far as like openers, especially for Instagram, but even on dating apps, I'm a big fan of the curiosity-based openers, right? Because the only goal of your opener is to get her to respond. The only goal of the second message is to get her to reply back to a third message. The only point of a third message is to get her to reply back and get a fourth message, etc., etc. And by using curiosity, you're evoking a response and she's more likely to reply and just start talking with you. Like, you just want any excuse, like, what can you do to just get this girl to start talking with you, start investing her time into you, and then good things happen from there the more she invests. So curiosity-based openers. I use this one, like one of your photos is particularly my favorite. Guess which one? Other good ones are, hey, I was looking at your profile and it looks like we have a few things in common. Or it could be, hey, I really like that sexy pose you made in this photo. I think it tells me everything I need to know about you. She's gonna be like, what is it? No, what does it say about me? What does that mean? Another thing that you could say would be perhaps, I liked all of your photos, but except one, it kind of made me think something different about you. Anything like that, anything to show curiosity. And in the description of this video, I'll post even more of my favorite curiosity-based openers. Okay, now moving along, she says, which one, LOL? Sorry, just saw your message, I'm barely here. Me either. And I said her name. I wanted to ask you something. I want this interaction to be different than all others on a dating app. Again, curiosity, right? I'm leaving this this cliffhanger, like, yeah, I want this to be different than all other interactions, we've had on a dating app before. So again, curiosity. So she says, what do you mean? Again, just getting her to talk more. Now she starts looking at my profile. Now we have a bit of conversation. It's just natural. Like, once you've started something, it's just natural to want to continue it because you've already invested your time into it. And this is a routine. I'm going to call it the, cut to the chase routine, or the cut to the chase opener. It's something I've been using a lot, and I want to go into this more and the power of it. But basically it goes like this. I said, okay, so normally it goes like this. I write you a message, you take a long time to respond, I do the same, and it eventually fizzles out. What I'm proposing is we pick a time, could be now, 5 minutes from now, 2 hours, where we can both be free and relatively undistracted to respond back and forth for 2 minutes. If it's boring, we cut our losses. If it's stimulating, we continue. Sound fair enough? ? And I wanted to point out two things. One, there's some intentional typos in here. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, even the opener. I want this interaction to he different than all others, or that all others on a dating app. Yeah, I want this interaction to he different that all others on a dating app. Now, I don't know if she even notices the typos, but by keeping a couple typos in there, it makes it less obvious that it's copy and paste. Anyway, so she says, well, I'm barely here on this app, honestly, but I have some time now, so go ahead, shoot with any questions you have, LOL. Two things I want to point out. Number one, if you're thinking like you're bombarding this girl with a wall of text and you're very likely to get a response rate when you just, come out of the woodwork with this, huge long message. First of all, it's actually not the opening message. The opening message is pretty concise. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. I want to make this interaction different. So it's actually not the first message. But second of all, if you're thinking like, well, that's a lot of, that's a big ask. That's a lot to ask a girl to invest. She's likely to ignore that, not respond. Yes, you're right, sir. It is a lot to ask, and she is likely not to respond to this message. But you know what? No matter what you say or what you do on a dating app, you're most likely not going to get a response from any of your matches. Even a guy like me who does this for a living, who has all the results in the world of amazing epic parties I've thrown, as well as getting girls out for one-on-one dates, all the receipts, all the proof in the world to show that I'm a world-class expert at this, not only for myself, but I'm doing this for clients. This conversation is not for me, it's for a client. Even a guy like me in a competitive dating market like Miami, this is where the client is, I'm lucky if 10% of my matches respond. And it doesn't matter if I send them a long personalized message or something copy and paste like this, but let's get back to it. So she says, yeah, go ahead and shoot. She has some time now. And you got to strike when the iron is hot, guys. Like, she has time now. This may be my only shot. So let's go. I got to get her into a mess. Okay. So I say, okay, cool. Well, here goes nothing then. Haha. So my first question is, what type of guys do you generally like? In other words, what's your type? So common thing I ask, this just gets an interesting conversation going. Like, physically or mentally? Both, I guess, but let's pour emphasis on mentally. Manera de ser. Lo que importa más. That's Spanish. She's Latina. I speak Spanish, so I throw in some Spanish. Even my client speaks a little bit of Spanish, so he won't be embarrassed on the date. So I put, his way of being, which is more important, like his personality. I like that. Okay, well, someone who has great morals, respectful, nice, outgoing, funny, and most importantly, humble, I would say. How about you? Now, she said she liked humble guys, so I'm going to be sarcastic and do the opposite and be not humble at all. And I said, I guess this is a bad time to brag that I'm a professional cuddler. I was named by Cuddle Magazine as Mejor Arrunchis del Año, like the best cuddler of the year. Sorry, I'll try to be more humble next time, but it's hard not to brag about my accomplishments. Above everything, I like women who are feminine. Would you say that you're a pretty feminine girl? Okay, so a couple of things here. Number one is I'm in a funny way disqualifying myself because she says she likes humble guys, and I'm doing the opposite by bragging about myself, but obviously in a very sarcastic way. It's just really funny, and saying I'm the best cuddler, cuddler of the year. It's kind of a sexy thing, to talk, a cute thing. And then also lastly, I like feminine women. Would you say that you're pretty feminine? So it's very powerful to talk about what you like, to not be bashful or ashamed about what you like, and try to get the girl to qualify herself to you. By that, I mean, you would say things like, yeah, I like ambitious girls. Would you say you're ambitious? Or yeah, I only like girls that are, in this case, feminine. Would you say you're feminine? And then she has to jump through her hoops and kind of sell herself to you and say, yes, I am feminine, or yes, I am ambitious. And that's subtly going to create attraction, because in her subconscious, people only qualify to others, meaning they brag about their accomplishments or they try to fit that other person's standards to people that they see as higher value. So by getting her to qualify, she's kind of putting me in a category of a guy that's higher value, because again, you only qualify, aka try to earn the approval of people you see as higher quality or higher value than you. She goes, LMAO, I have to see proof of the magazine, but it's okay, you're getting there. And then she goes, I don't know, what do you think? So she responded well to the cuddle of the year thing. She goes, I don't know what you think. What do you think about the feminine thing? So she didn't really take the bait. She didn't really qualify herself to me yet. And I said, I hope so, but hasta ahora no tengo idea. That means I hope so, LOL, but as of now, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, meaning, are you feminine? So basically, I'll just say it in English. Like, I hope you're feminine. Like, I hope you are. But as of now, I have no idea. I generally find Latina women to be very in touch with their feminine side, unlike white girls who generally tend to be more masculine. So there's something very powerful I talk about a lot, which is called asserting a strong opinion or polarizing opinion. So you generally want to be positive, but it's okay to kind of, I guess you can say, insult or talk about things you don't like. So if I said, yeah, like, I love that you go to the gym. I can't stand people who don't eat healthy, who neglect their health. Personally, I kind of find it disgusting. It should be your health should be the most important thing in your life. It's okay that like asserting strong opinions is an attractive thing. But once again, I didn't get the best response. She says, I don't think race should matter. It should be how they are. So again, she didn't really agree to this. So we're kind of like 0 for 2. Number one, she didn't qualify. Number two, she didn't kind of go along with my strong opinion and say, oh yeah, I'm Latina and we are more feminine, blah, 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 blah. She kind of almost gave like a social justice warrior, kind of a wokester response. Like, well, it should just depend on who they are, right? So immediately I'm just going to get off that topic. I'm not going to challenge her on that. I'm not going to butt heads with her. I'm just going to immediately take the path of least resistance, which is just change the topic entirely. I go, true, everyone is different, but generally that's my observation. I love that you're into yoga and working out also. I do 5 to 10 minutes of yoga every night before bed. Best way to relieve the stress. I wrote that in Spanish, but best way to get rid of stress. And she goes, yeah, I do it for peace and comfort and mental health. By the way I knew she was into yoga and meditation is because it says so in her profile. And I don't want to click on her profile because it might give out too much personal information and I'll have to blur a lot of stuff out in editing. So I'm not going to click her profile, but yeah, trust me, it talks about that. I say, ever tried meditation? Yeah, it's the best. I do, I don't know how you pronounce that, Reiki sometimes too. I say, nice, wow, that's amazing. I do too every day. Really, that's interesting. So if you don't mind me asking, what's your sign? And then I'm going to answer that question in a second. But before that, I'm addressing the meditation thing. I said, you may or may not already know this, but meditation literally changes your brain. They can see it on an MRI scan. The prefrontal cortex literally gets a few nanometers thicker. So this is a good text in Latin America. American women, I find, don't generally tend to be super turned on by intelligence. That's not like an American female value generally from what I've, at least in my personal experience. But I went with it anyway because she seems pretty into this stuff and that might kind of impress her with my intelligence. And intelligence is a high value thing. And I kept it pretty short. Yes, I believe it, and energies play a big part. And then anyway, I'm talking about, now I'm answering a question about what my sign is. So I said, sure, I'll tell you, but only if you guess first. Then I'll tell you just to see if you can get it. She said, Virgo. Then I had to ask the client what his birthday was so I could look up his astrological sign. I said, Capricorn. And then I said, and yours, y el tuyo, which is and yours. Oh, okay, cool. My brother's Capricorn. They're very calm and chill to me. I like them. And she says, guess. And I say, good, yeah, I'm super grounded. Partially just because that's my nature, and also the meditation. It takes a lot to get me stressed out. So just, yeah, that's what every girl wants, a guy that's calm, cool, and collected, right? And I said, in the end, things usually work out. And then I said, I guessed her sign, Taurus. I don't fucking know what sign she is. And she goes, that's awesome and great to hear. That's why I like doing yoga and Reiki, to keep the stress out, especially negativity. I don't like it at all. I stay as positive as possible, even when it's not. I think she meant like even when it's like not possible or when it's difficult. And she says she's a Scorpio. And I said, yeah, it's like lifting weights, but for the mind. Amazing stuff. So, I just talk about this. I can tell the conversation's getting boring. You guys might be kind of like tuning out now. The conversation kind of should be boring. What we're doing right now is just vibing. There's no, you guys notice I'm not being super gamey. I'm not turning everything into an over the top, cocky, funny, haha, I'm so witty, I'm so great. In the beginning, you want to do that more. You want these long, witty, interesting answers, right? These super gamey things in the very beginning. Not super gamey, but kind of gamey, meaning, you're just putting a lot of energy, a lot of effort in the response. It's very like, like, whoa, look at me, look at this like interesting thing I'm saying. And then as our conversation gets in more towards the middle, it naturally will and should get more boring as it is right now, but we're just vibing. We are building commonality and we're building rapport. And that's gonna build comfort and attraction, because unlike men who are very, very physical and sexual attraction is primarily a physical thing, for women, it's very much like, oh, he understands me. Oh, we have, similar points of views. So I'm literally just vibing with the girl. That's it. This part of the interaction is just called vibing. So we're vibing. And then I asked her Instagram. I said, let's continue this on Instagram. And then she actually added me right away, but I didn't notice. And we just kept talking on the app more, but I will show the conversation as it switches over. I hope so. You strike me as a sweet girl, but you have the potential to sting. Haha, referring to the fact that she's a Scorpio. And she says, if you play your card right, I won't sting. Well, you definitely seem sweet with just the perfect amount of feistiness thrown into the mix, which is nice. She is being overall positive and sweet, but there are a couple times where she's like, didn't give the most positive answer or kind of disagree with what I said. So I said, yeah, she had a little bit of feistiness. I guess I have that sweet and spicy kick to me. I said, my new nickname for you will be Sriracha then, although that's a lot more spicy than sweet. Sriracha with extra sugar. So I'm just kind of being ridiculous and funny. So I see you're a dating coach. And the fact that she corrected her grammar means, she's qualifying me to a bit. She cares about my opinion, what I think about her intelligence. So she qualified her grammar by correcting your to your. That's a good thing. And this client is in his profile says sex and dating coach, and he is a prominent dating coach on YouTube. It's not me. This is for a client. I said, yeah, I sure am. And I said, you ever met a guy who was a good guy but a little too shy and nice for his own good? I help guys like that become more assertive and confident. She said, that's awesome. Yeah, and very much needed these days, I feel like most men are too soft, but you tell me from a woman's perspective, again, asserting a strong opinion. And then once again, she doesn't really go for it. I'm kind of skipping ahead, but I think, did I ask her what she does for a job? Or no, she volunteered it. I do the same. I work as a lash tech, so for me, whenever I get a female and just boost their confidence in 2 hours really makes me happy because I did that. And I said, nice, yeah, I read that. So you do your own marketing? So I said, so you do your own marketing, or the place you work at provided you with customers? I'm going to say provides. And yeah, that's the best feeling, injecting people with confidence and self-esteem. Again, just vibing, showing that I'm a good guy. In her head, she's thinking like, oh, this guy, he's a sweet guy. He likes to, help people out, make them feel better. Okay, she's saying about not at all, like how most guys are, shy these days. Again, she whenever I start these strong opinions, she tends not to agree with them, which makes it a little more difficult for me. But whatever, it's better for a training example when the girl doesn't make it super easy for me, right? She goes, yeah, I do this. Yeah, I do so. Yeah, I do so. I do at home services for my clients, but in a few months, I'm going to get my own location. And then, there's just more, more bullshit. But then I said, and nice, you're a full entrepreneur. That's so sexy. And she liked that comment. This is qualification. We talked a little bit about how one person qualifies to the other, but for a guy to qualify a girl, what that means is giving compliments, why you like her, or reasons why you would be a good match that have nothing to do with her physical appearance. Once again, you give reasons why you're a good fit, why you would work well together, why you like her. That has nothing to do with her physical appearance. So I said, and you're a full entrepreneur. That's so sexy. So right now, she's thinking, oh, I'm special to this guy. This guy actually likes me. It's not just my boobs and ass, but he likes the fact that I'm an entrepreneur. And she knows most girls in Miami are not entrepreneurs, at least entrepreneurs out of the OnlyFans / sex working industry. She knows that's a rare thing. So she knows that my qualification, my compliment is a real genuine thing, and I really do like her. I always say intelligence and ambition turns me on more than tits and ass. Haha, that's a classic line I use over and over again. Then she talks about, shy guys and helping that, blah, 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 like, the dating coach thing. We talk about how Miami's kind of a cesspool, and I just say, yeah, thankfully I'm not here, I'm not from here, so I haven't been corrupted from the culture here. And since you work for yourself and aren't selling feet pics on OnlyFans, I guess you turn out fine as well. You turn out fine also. So yeah, qualifying her again. And then she says, yeah, I don't approve of selling your body in any way. So, we're building more commonality, building more trust, building more rapport. And I want to go through this quickly. Oh yeah. So I said, Hermoso tienes Insta, ¿verdad? Like you have Instagram, right? Can we continue talking there instead of here? She actually added me right away the first time I went for it. So now I'm going to switch over to Instagram. Give me 1 second as I pull up the conversation. Okay, so here we are on Instagram now. She said, hi, just followed you back. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because we've covered most of the main points and I don't want us to die of old age before this video ends. So I have to blur that out in editing. There was a picture of the client with his dog and I'm giving little teases like I don't know, let's see here. Oh, more like sarcastic, over the top humor. I say, that's why I became a badass, ultra cool, a super badass, ultra cool who's famous I meant to say influencer, who's famous on the internet, the ultimate level of human achievement. Hope you can sense my sarcasm, LOL. Sometimes girls can't sense sarcasm, so I put that in there. I'm just joking, like I already told my mom about you, blah, 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 blah. Another, more pictures of the client's dog. I say I'm a very masculine guy and don't accept, or I always like put little typos on accident. I meant to say I'm a very masculine guy and I don't take anybody's shit except his. He runs shit. I'm just his loyal human. I said, you're beautiful, but I don't know if you'll ever be as gorgeous as he is. Again, we're just talking about the dog. Again, this is boring. I get it. We're just literally vibing. There's nothing crazy going on here. Attraction for women, and this is debatable. I know someone in the comments is gonna call me out, and there's a lot of caveats and a lot of other things, but in general, by and large, to keep things simple for the purpose of this video, attraction with women is a factor of time and attention. The more time that you dedicate to them, or the more time that's passed since you know them, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, and the more attention that you give them, the more attraction you build. So I'll say that again. The more time that you have knowing each other, and the more attention that you've given them during that time, the more attraction will be built. Obviously, I know there's exceptions. You can be too needy. You can give too much attention. Shut up. I'm just trying to keep it simple for a video here. Then she talked about how she's artistic, how she does poetry and stuff like that. And then we just talk about how, it's cute and sexy, her creativity. We talked about how she paints and that, she should teach me. We can grow together, things like that. Again, all boring stuff, just building more time and stuff together. Attraction. And the reason why I keep these interactions going so longer than I maybe would for myself, is because when I do this for clients, the more time and attention that I give the girl, the less likely the girl is to flake. If I do this like super quick, like, hey, what's your Insta? Hey, we should meet up for drinks sometime. Okay, cool. What do you think about Friday? All right, let's do it. Very high flake rate. You see how long that I'm talking? Like we're like 25 minutes practically into this video now. Or 20 minutes, I don't know, whatever the timestamp says. That's how long we are into the video. I've been talking a lot. It's getting kind of boring. I'm just going to wrap up the video, and there's just a lot more vibing. And cool, I'm going to blur this out, but at the very end here, you see that I got a phone number. So, yeah, guys, again, I know a lot of that was really boring, but it should be boring. There was a couple things about how I asserted some strong opinions. There was a lot about qualifying the girl, giving her compliments on things that I liked about her other than her appearance, things that are special and unique to her that she's going to take very well. Like I said, they're going to make her feel unique and special because, all guys want to have sex with her, but how many guys, truly like her personality and, her points of view, her accomplishments, whatever. And yeah, a lot of just boring vibing, but that's the thing. Like, that's why my clients outsource this to me, is because it is really boring to just vibe back and forth and talk about Reiki and meditation and my dog and her art and how she likes to paint. It's a grind, but the more you do that, the more likely it is to show up on a date. And I think that's it for today, guys. Kind of a longer video, but I hope you guys learned a couple things. You learned some examples of how I, keep things witty, how I keep things funny, how in the beginning it's more gamey and these kind of like outlandish, silly, very almost kind of try hard, a lot of effort responses. Then it gets more calm. The conversation goes from like more like me talking most of the time to 50-50. And then just a lot of vibing and rapport building. Now, if you want to outsource all of this boring texting to me because you don't have the time for it or you don't have the patience to learn how to do it yourself, you can find more information on my website, redbeardrans.net. And if you're not even getting matches, so you have no matches that you can even outsource conversations to me or do the conversations for yourself, it's because the content on your Instagram and or dating profile sucks and I can fix that as well. I have a program where guys can fly out and meet me, and I will get all of their social media content done and make them look like a high value man. Photos of them in luxurious restaurants with cool people hanging out, photo of them speaking on stage, on a boat, on jet skis, just in general doing cool high value shit that's going to get you responses. Also fashion consulting and advice, everything like that. Please follow me on Instagram. It is RedbeardRants1 on Instagram. Lastly, I have a free Telegram group. The link is in the bio. You can join that group. You can get access to me. I'm very active in that group. I answer all questions that people ask me in that group. Oh, and one more thing, in terms of getting photos, I'm going to put a link to a free Google album that I have curated over time that has unlimited inspiration for outfits, poses, locations, things like that. So you can use that as inspiration and know how you can do your photos. You can emulate that. And that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Peace.